Alright, welcome everybody to part 2 of this video tutorial series on parking spots in Say Intention's Taxi Tuner version 4. In this video I'm going to just show you some of the tools I use in determining parking spots and which airlines park where. So we'll start with the tool I use first when I start any new airport, and that's Wikipedia. So, for example, for Amsterdam Airport here, I go to Amsterdam's Wikipedia page. On the left side, I will navigate to airlines, destinations. There's a nice little passenger tab here, and this gives me a list of all the airlines that use Amsterdam. Now, I know Taxi Tuner has its own list, but those are the ones on Taxi Tuner are sorted by airlines that basically they're sorted by the number of flights each airline has into that airport within a specified time period. For me, I like things alphabetically, so I use Wikipedia most of the time to get the list of airlines, or at least the initial list of airlines. So what I'll do is I'll go on here, I'll look at each airline, and then on Excel I will go through, and at the top on this, for each airport I have a new spreadsheet. And you can use Excel, you can use any similar application. But I use Excel, and in the top row I will list the 3-letter ICAO code of each of those airlines in order. And if you need help finding the ICAO code, you can just click on the airline. So for Aegean, it's here, and you just zoom in. Be Alpha Echo Echo for Aegean. Then I'll go back to Excel, and I just put that in here. And I'll just go each airline to airline until I get them all. So that's Wikipedia. That's the first tool I use. While I have Excel up, I'll just show you what I do in Excel. So basically, the way I do Excel is, so I have my airline codes at the top, in the top row. Beneath them in the columns, I will list each gate that particular airline uses at that airport. So at Amsterdam, for example, let me just find one here that uses both heavy and mediums. Let's see. We'll go to like Finnair, okay? So Finnair. So I have Fox India November at the top. That just tells me it's Finnair. And then beneath that, I list all of the gates that I've observed them using within however far back I want to go. You can go however. Basically, the further back you go, the more accurate it'll be. I usually go back 2 to 3 weeks. It just depends on what you want. But anyway, I list all the gates they've used in that time and that airline. And you can see these little asterisks I add next to each gate. For me, these correspond to the size of aircraft in Say Intentions. So if it has 1 star or 1 asterisk, I use that for like my small aircraft. So my CRJ 700s, basically my CRJ 900s and below. Anything that would use a gate small, I use the asterisk. If it's a gate medium, I use the double asterisk. If it's a large, so like for example, Finnair brings the A350, and occasionally they bring an A330 or so into Amsterdam. So for those, I will use the triple asterisk. And if it's like Emirates, so Emirates is here. They bring the A380, and they only park that at Gulf 9. So for Gulf 9, I put a quad asterisk. That's because it's a gate. It needs a gate extra large. And then if the airline has a cargo, like if the same airline, so Emirates flies passenger and cargo, which they do into Amsterdam, I will add another little column here, or it's just another box. I'll just label it cargo, and then beneath that I will list all the spots that their cargo aircraft park at. And then it's just as far as my color coding goes at the very top. So when I start any new airport, it'll look like, I won't have anything color coded. It'll look like this. It'll look like Corendon Dutch, like their column. Everything will be white. And I just do that while I'm gathering information, basically. And then once I go through and I gather all of the gate information for each airline, I will mark it as blue up here. I will basically I'll fill it in with a blue color. And that just lets me know that I've finished gathering the data for that airline. So, like, for example, if I do for Corendon here, if I just fill that in, I don't want yellow, but I fill that in as blue, I know that I've got all the data I need, and then I can go to Taxi Tuner, and I can assign Charlie November Delta to each of those gates. So we will do that. I will show you that now. I'll go to Taxi Tuner at Amsterdam here, and it was Bravo 35 on a gate medium. So we'll find gate Bravo 35. That's down here. This is a medium gate, and we want Charlie November Delta, Corendon Dutch Airlines, and I'm going to hit enter. Well, I'll hit update properties. I'm going to save this right away so I don't lose it. And then I will go back and I will do Echo 17. They use that as a heavy gate. They have heavies, and Echo 17 is, that is, I believe, it's right here. So Echo 17. Do Charlie November Delta. Update, save. So now what I do, now that I've assigned these in Say Intentions in Taxi Tuner, I will highlight them and I will fill them in with the green color. And quick way to do that, I just hit good up here. So I know I've assigned those. Now I'm gonna take off this color because I haven't finished getting all the data for them. I'm gonna get more. And just to help me with that, I usually just make it orange, and that tells me I'm not done getting data for that airline. So blue tells me I'm finished. Green, or blue at the top, in the top row, blue tells me I'm finished with said airline. Orange tells me I'm not. And the green in the columns just tells me that I've already assigned it. If it's white, I have not assigned it. So that's what I do in Excel. And that will conclude part 2 of this tutorial. So thanks for watching. In part 3, we're going to go into detail on FlightAware, which is a phenomenal tool for Taxi Tuner. But thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.